It's just what I believe, and if I believe it, it is what it is.
I guess, why do you need a God? Why do you need it?
Because if there's nothing to believe in, then what's the point? You know, everybody has all these other beliefs, and I believe this, I believe that, but we all believe in something, and to each his own, right? But he's my belief, and he died on the cross for all of our sins, and he suffered so that we wouldn't have to.
So how do you know that what you just said is true? I mean, how do you know that?
It's just what I believe, and if I believe it, it is what it is.
Would you say it's a faith thing more? It's kind of faith?
Well, yeah. I mean, faith is a powerful thing, and it's something that you really have to step out into the unknown to experience. And if you're not willing to do that, then it's not going to work for you. You're not going to have it.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable, man.
What does that mean? Did you get a meaning out of that?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Well, I don't think
like you have to do something you have no understanding about at all, and you just have to do it, and then you'll experience faith. Like, just is it the blind leap?
Yeah. No, it is. I mean,
is that what she's saying?
Again, I don't think she
leap?
knows. Yeah, because it is. Because I don't think she understands what the Bible says. Hebrews 11, 1 and 2, the faith chapter, if she knew the Bible. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the certainty of things not seen. So you have to it is blind faith. You have to be totally certain of things you can't see, you can't touch, you can't know. Yeah. So maybe that's what she meant. I don't know. We never, but it's absolutely absurd.
But any way you look at it, it is absurd. I mean, you know, faith, you know, faith, to believe in something without evidence and to say it's true, even though I don't have any evidence and nobody has any evidence, it's true. It's childish.
Yeah.
You know?
There's two kinds of faith, though, that I try to explain to Christians, too. We have faith called trust faith. I say trust instead of faith.
Yeah, because
I don't call that faith.
No, it's the same meaning, though. Trust faith.
Christians use it that way.
So
definitely Christians use it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's belief faith, believing things with no evidence, like she said.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, so I could say, well, I have faith, or I had faith that David was going to show up here for this show today, and he did. My faith was realized. No, I trust David is a man of his word, and he shows up every time we do this.
And why do you know that?
Because I've seen it happen.
See, demonstration. We have been doing this stuff for a while.
We don't know that. We don't know that you're going to show up.
Right, but I trust that he's gonna.
It's a trust.
And when he does,
you don't know for sure.
My trust was born out.
I could have had an accident. I could be sick.
Right.
I could have been taken up in the rapture. And you left behind.
Yeah. You could have been abducted by animals, by aliens.
Aliens and animals.
You're actually more likely to be abducted by an animal than an alien.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, so she said faith is a powerful thing. Powerful.
It is.
Well, it is, but I don't think it's a powerful thing for good. I think because so many people use that faith to believe. Well, I mean, personally, I believe it's worse, and it's because you have the faith healers, and you have Christian scientists, and these people who use faith in ways that harm their children. Literally, children die because people have this faith, and they won't allow their believers to go to the doctor, to take their children to the doctor. And there's a state, Idaho, fuck Idaho, who protects these people. They have an actual law on the books that protects these Christian scientists, and that's why so many of them move there. Their children die because they don't take them to the doctor from preventable diseases, and these children die.
Yeah.
That is bad.
So faith can be a dangerous thing.
Yes.
It absolutely can be.
It's not a tool for discerning truth. No. It's a tool for allowing people to accept falsehoods. Faith can be used for anything, and it can justify anything, too. It can. That's kind of scary.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, in a way, with that blind faith, because it really is blind faith.
Yeah,
it is.
I could have as much faith as anyone ever had that this phone is going to levitate off.
Okay, let's do a test.
The table.
You just made a claim.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I could actually honestly have that faith. That's the problem with the test.
That's true.
That's the problem with the test.
It has to be something you already believe.
Right, right. I couldn't perform the test, but like I would be willing to say that someone sitting there and having faith that this is going to levitate up into the air will not happen. It won't happen.
One of my clients.
If it does, that would be awesome.
Well,
that
one
would
of my
be
clients,
awesome. I would love to be proven wrong on that.
She's a New Age spiritualist, and she said, David, you've heard me say this in my Preaching Humanist show, David, my husband can move objects with his mind. I couldn't, and it drives me crazy because she's a paying client and a good friend. I would have said, if it was anybody else, let's go over to your apartment now, and I want your husband to do that for me.
You don't think that she would be proud to let her husband show you that he can do that?
You would think, yeah.
Well, you know, he needs to be in the right state of mind, and it has to be in the right place.
Over and over, conjecture, talk, no action. Now, I asked her, how do you know it's true what you're saying? Which we ask people all the time. And what she say, it's true, it's what I believe in, it's what I believe in. So in other words, because I believe it's true, it's true.
Yeah, I think she's saying, well, it's the whole, it's true for me. You know, there's this new thing out there that, you know, truth is not necessarily the truth for everybody. You can have your own personal truths.
Subjective.
And, you know, I just want to be so lovey and happy about everything and everybody's everything. It's going to be okay. Facts. And it's...
No such thing as objective truth to a lot of people.
Yeah.
To some people.
But, you know, she said, it's what I believe. She said, it's what I believe, and it is what it is. It's what I believe, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Which just means, you know, that she just believes it, and that because she believes it, like you said, it's just true to her, you know, just because she believes it, no thought process put into it, no examining whether what she believes has any basis in fact, you know. In fact, they probably don't want to examine it too closely. No. You know, some of them are probably afraid that if it gets examined too closely, that it's going to shatter their worldview.
Right. Well, that's also putting God to the test, right? If you examine it too closely, then that's putting God to the test.
Right.
And the Bible forbids that.
I was going to say, David, tell me that quote.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, chapter 6, thou shalt not put the Lord thy God to test, as the Israelites did in the wilderness, and God punished them, and God's wrath was upon them. And then Jesus himself, allegedly, when he was put up on the mountain with Satan, and Satan said, hey, Jesus, jump off there. He wanted to put Jesus to the test. Let's see if Psalm 91 is true. Let's see if the angel of the Lord catches you. If you dash your foot against a stone, if God will catch you, the angel of the Lord will catch you so you won't die from a horrible death of hitting the ground, right? And Jesus said, thou shalt not test the Lord thy God. Don't put it to the test. So the Bible writers knew something. They said, you better not question and be skeptical these things because they can be tested. We test them all the time. Yeah. Zero evidence, big fat zero.
Well, that's a very insecure God. If he's the all-powerful, omnipotent, and all this stuff, why would he not want to be tested so that he could just instantly prove that I'm the man, I got it?
Gets his power from faith.
Yeah. Faith, man. Faith. But aren't all religions based on that same thing? Faith.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have to be.
I guess, yeah.
Because you can I've talked to Muslims before, real nice people.
Maybe not every religion, but I think every religion that has a belief in a specific deity.
Yes, exactly.
You know, or supernatural.
Supernatural there has to be faith.
Beliefs, yeah.
Absolutely, because my New Age spiritualist client and other ones I've talked to, it's just like talking to a Christian.
Yeah.
They pray through shamans, they pray to the universe, they expect answered prayers, the universe will answer their prayer. It's all based on just pure faith.
Yeah.
And they don't like empiricism. That's a dirty word for them. Yeah. They don't like empirical evidence.
No, they don't.
They don't like that because we can test things and see if they're real. Yeah.
And it makes them think of Star Wars, too.
Star Wars, too.
Yeah. The Empire?
Empiricism, the imperial.
Right, imperial empire. Yeah.
I
got it.
A misconnection, but people still.
You're too young. You're too young to know about Empire Strikes Back.
I'm too young? I'm 30.
He's watched that show. I bet he's watched it probably 5 times at least.
At least. That was my favorite.
He's probably watched the movie that many times at least.
Oh, 5 times?
That's probably the low side, right?
Please.
So let's see. I
said, not even in the realm.
Yeah, I said something to her about, when she was talking about, we all have to believe in something. And this is what drives me crazy, guys.
If we don't believe in anything,
like we don't believe in anything.
What does that mean? We all have to believe in something. Does she mean we all have to believe in something supernatural?
I think that's what they mean. I've been trying to figure that out for years.
Her point. I mean, I do believe in things. You know, I believe that.
We believe in love. We believe in caring for other people. We believe in education and knowledge. We believe in lots of things. Well, we just don't believe in the supernatural.
I think for us, the only equivalence that a Christian or a religious person could make as far as what atheists believe and what they believe is, well, they would say like, well, okay, I believe in God. You believe there is no God, and that takes as much faith or more faith than what I believe.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It doesn't require faith. It's the absence, as you know, the absence of
and
faith.
The thing is, like, as atheists, we don't necessarily believe there is no God. For most of us, it is a question or an answer to the question, do you believe in God? No, I don't believe. That doesn't mean I believe there is no God. It's just I'm not convinced there is one.
Yeah.
That's what agnosticism is.
I think I tell people, maybe we're a little different on this, and that's fine. We always have nuance in each community, right? I just tell them, to my knowledge, I will say there is no God to my knowledge, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
Right.
You know, if you can show me, I'll believe it. Right now, I've been there, done that, walked the depths of Christianity, all that stuff.
I mean, even the most hated atheist on the planet, which right now is probably Richard Dawkins, has said he is I think the number he gave was 99.99% sure there is no God.
That's me.
But he said, you know, nobody can absolutely say with 100% certainty they know something. So he leaves that 0.01%, maybe, but it's not good odds.
Yeah, right. But even if he did exist, do we care? I mean, when I tell believers, if you can actually demonstrate by faith the supernatural world exists, would I serve that God? Would you guys serve the God?
Well, no.
I mean, would you? But you may believe it's true.
So I'm going to take a different stance than most atheists here. If the God of the Bible is real and this life is just a test and we could spend eternity in bliss and happiness or an eternity in hell, an eternity is a really long time, and the 30 years I've been here is not enough to convince me that if I did have to live for eternity, which I think in itself would be torture, I think I would kind of maybe try and do everything I could to get into the good eternity than I would into the bad one. Like, if there was empirical, real proof of that the God of the Bible is real, I would probably turn into a pretty... I would try and follow the rules.
But do you know how boring?
That's an eternity. It would be boring.
But you know what the Bible says about that in the book of Revelation. You know what they'll be doing in heaven? Constantly. Praising Jesus, casting their crowns to Jesus and bowing, worthy is the Lamb, singing worship songs forever.
Okay.
So a celestial North Korea like his would you say?
To me, as I am now, I would hate that, and that would drive me insane.
Right.
But the idea of heaven is that it's bliss. No matter what you're doing, whatever you're doing, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're going to be loving it. Right. And maybe it's not the right thing, but I completely acknowledge that my position is you could call it weak. You could call it,
It's not weak. No, it's not weak at all.
No, I mean...
I don't think so. I don't think it's weak at all. I think your position is correct.
I think it's the rational way to...
Exactly. I think it's the rational way. If you
go about this, we're talking about eternity here. And a lifetime is like 100 years if you're super lucky.
I think it goes into proving what we say a lot of time, that this whole thing is based on fear anyway, because absolutely, I'm that whole 99.99% sure there's no God.
Yep.
If you prove to me, and it changed to where I'm 99.99% sure there is a God, I'm going to follow that book, even though I think it's a horrible book. Because now I have a choice. I believe it's true. What do I want to happen when I die? Do I want to spend eternity being burnt, probably raped, gang raped by some demons with big horse penises? No, I do not. I want to spend my time, even if it's something that I don't think I'd enjoy now, like Josh has said, it's going to be blissful no matter what you're doing.
Or it could have been the angels.
So, Go ahead. I mean, and I think any rational person would say the same thing. I mean, if you come to find out.
anyone that's being honest.
But not anyone's being honest. But it comes back, it exactly proves our point in ways it's based on fear. You better believe it. Because if you do believe it, do you want to go to hell? That's a fear-based belief.
That's a motivating factor in Christianity.
It's not about love. It's about fear.
Fear, absolutely.
I don't fear death. I fear the type of death I don't want to suffer, but I can use Mark Twain's quote, I don't fear death, for I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Honestly, it's just going to sleep. It's like, what is nothingness? They can't comprehend nothingness. What was it like before you were born? Nothingness. I'm not afraid.
Exactly.
Hey, here's one more.
Dying.
What's that?
I fear dying. Not being dead. I don't fear being dead. I fear
the process.
The process.
The process of going from life to death. For me, it would be best if it just happened.
Guillotine,
something not even guillotine.
Because then you got to think about that.
Not for me, because then I would. And I'm pretty sure there's been not like scientific tests where they chop people's heads off, but you do stay conscious for a couple seconds. I don't know if it's seconds, for moments, however long it is, after you get your head chopped off, because it takes a tiny bit of time for your brain to actually like begin to die. Like it's still working there, and your eyes still work. You can't breathe. You can't. It would be horrible.
This is where we need Hector Garcia here, our psychologist buddy.
I would just want like my head squished, or to go in my sleep.
That's a good point, because the brain would be.
It would be immediate. Just a big rock. Just.
All right. Hey, one more thing she said. The first thing she said. And she said, because if there's nothing to believe in, I get this all the time, it drives me crazy. If there's nothing to believe in, what's the point?
What a lot of points.
I mean, if you don't believe
how about
in
happiness?
Right. I mean,
how about love?
Yeah,
how about sex?
I don't believe at all. But my point is, raising my kids and my grandkids and helping them to have a good life and helping them to be safe. That brings me joy. That brings me joy to know that I am helping, these people become, and have a good life and be good people and trying to teach them those things. And that has nothing to do with the Bible and nothing to do with God, So that's the point. The point. There's one point. There's a whole lot of other points.
Well, that's a bunch of points.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a bunch of points that you
what about the goodness in life, the things that are fun, sex, hang gliding, which I will never do, but there's people who love it. There's the point.
They believe they're here, Christians. Christians, most are taught from the Bible, they're here for a reason, right? Yep. That's why they're here. So when we tell them we're atheists, then what's the point of living? I get this all the time. And I just shake my head, I do the face palm, I can't believe it. Why not
just end it? Why don't you just end it is what I always want to say. Like the people who believe in the afterlife, like seriously, why don't you just end it right now? Why don't you wish for it to end constantly? Right. Like obviously you can't do it yourself, but the Bible prohibits suicide, right?
Yeah.
Any that
I can't remember the scripture on that. Sorry guys.
I don't remember the exact scripture, but I'm pretty sure the Bible forbids suicide because that would have made all the workers go, oh, this is real? Heaven up there, no more work? Okay. Yeah, if they really believed it, right?
Well,
if you could. But like even if you can't commit suicide, why would you not like hope for death?
Yeah. Isn't that
all the time?
And Islamic extremists do? They want to go up.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
the ones who want to be martyred. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
72 virgins.
Yeah, because the Quran says that if you die in service to Allah, you will be not only will you go to heaven, you will get a bunch of perks when you get up there that other people don't get.
Yeah.
Many perks, many perks. Yeah, we get this all the time. So you got to believe in something. What's the point? What's the point of living? And I've heard it from people all the time. Like, why would you even want to live if you're not a Christian?
It is.
That's sad to me that they have.
Like, if you really can't see what the point is
in
to life
without that, exactly.
Without God.
If you don't see that, I'm sad for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the realization, you guys? I know your background's not quite as hardcore Christian as mine, and maybe even Eric's, but because we'll talk about that in the future.
Yeah,
get you. But it was really hard for me, and when I came to that realization over 30 years ago as a young preacher, and I just figured this out. But it was hard at first for about 6 months of that darkness of nihilism, like, where do I go now? What's the point?
Well,
that's when these thoughts of suicide came in. For me, I didn't have the internet back then. Well, I was a late bloomer on technology, everybody knows. But I didn't have a secular community. I didn't know what an atheist was. It was me alone with my books and my thoughts. And I thought, what the hell? Where do I go now? You know?
Well, it's hard. You've been indoctrinated into that, especially you, David. I know your history, indoctrinated into that since you were a child, and you believed it, and you came up in it. And then when you have the realization that this is all bullshit, man, what a fall. You know, what do you do now? Absolutely. That's just a human reaction, you know? Well, now what do I do with my life? What does my life mean if I don't have this thing that I've been basing it on, which was a falsehood?
I remember the moment lying, I think I've mentioned this on one of my Preaching Humans episodes years ago. I remember lying on the hood of my vehicle and just crying, my last try for God to finally answer my prayer after I quit preaching at that time and everything, all these doubts. And no answers came, you know. And I remember lying out there in the car one night, and I just looked at the sky and the stars, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm free. There's nothing up there but space, time, energy, and matter. And I thought to myself, I have to make meaning in life now. I have to make purpose in life. This is my life. I'm here. Find it. And I did.
And it can change through life.
Sure.
You know? I mean, my purpose has been, since, you know, my son was born, and when I was helping to raise my granddaughter, not my granddaughter, but my stepdaughter as well, my purpose was that. Give these children a good life, you know? So that's my purpose. I still am doing that because I'm raising my grandson, you know? It's going to change, you know, when he's able to support himself and he doesn't need me as his safety net. So it's going to change. And now there will be another purpose for me in that moment in my life. I don't know what it is yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll hit the lottery and it's going to be travel the world forever. I don't know. But it's going to change.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah.
You like travel.
Oh, yeah. That's my dream.
I travel. I traveled to San Antonio and back. Let's see, where do we go? We go to Dallas to see my kids and grandkids from Austin. I travel.
Yeah.
Not like the travel you're talking about. All right, so yeah, she said a lot of things, and I talked to Ben about this. I wish I could have reacted more to some of this stuff, but we'll do that in the future. We've done that. We'll have some videos when we do that. I think I'm looking more forward to countering the Christian preachers at the Alamo.
Absolutely,
that's what we want to do.
That's the thing, boy. Let's get some of that. That's gold.
That's gonna be fun. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching Atheist Vanguard. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Thanks for showing up.